Fukushima, Japan, March 2011. A disaster of epic proportions, a 9.0 earthquake, soon followed by a tragic tsunami. Then a nuclear meltdown on par with Chernobyl. But before, during, and after the catastrophe, odd things were reportedly showing up in the sky. For years, clips and witness testimony have circulated online showing strange objects hovering near Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant, including lights, orbs, and even smaller shapes that seem to glide above one of the most watched disaster zones on Earth. Are these misidentifications, or do they continue to fit a pattern that has been going on for about 80 years? A pattern of nuclear facilities and UFOs. Today we're going to take a deep dive look at the ever-present intersection of UFOs and nukes, Fukushima as a UFO hotspot itself, and how that connection reportedly converged during the Fukushima disaster. Stay tuned. As always, I'd love to have you rate this event on a scale from 1 to 10 in the comments. 1 being mass misidentifications, 10 being undeniable UFO activity. Before we look at the Fukushima event itself, we have to go back in time for some context. For nearly 80 years, reports have connected unidentified objects with nuclear technology. Some of the most credible witnesses anyone could ask for have reportedly seen strange craft hovering above sensitive nuclear facilities. These people are trained and chosen to guard nuclear weapons. They're tested for their mental capacity, what medications they may take, and their emotional state. You don't want someone who may be unstable guarding your nukes. There are quite literally numerous cases of UFOs interacting with nuclear facilities. I'm going to quickly touch on 3 of my favorites. First, let's look at Operation Bluegill Triple Prime in 1962. Bluegill Triple Prime was a high-altitude nuclear test conducted on October 26, 1962, during Operation Fishbowl. The detonation occurred during the height of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Over here, we can see the supposed debris falling. It is actually reported to be a UFO by investigators. One angle of the footage is supposedly redacted strangely, and it is just redacted in the place the object tumbles down. Apparently, this object was then recovered by the US military. This event could have a deep dive of its own. The next UFO and nuke event I want to touch on is the Vandenberg missile test in California, 1964. Lieutenant Bob Jacobs was watching from the nearby mountainous Big Sur area. Jacobs was actually filming this event and witnessing it through a telescope. He described a domed disc that circled the dummy nuclear warhead and hit it with 4 flashes of light during the test. Let's hear it from Bob Jacobs himself, one of my favorite first-hand witnesses ever.
Into the frame came something else. It flew into the frame like this, and it shot a beam of light at the warhead, which is represented by my thumb here. Now, remember, all this stuff is flying at several thousand miles an hour. So this thing fires a beam of light at the warhead, hits it, and then this thing flies up like this. Meanwhile, we're all going like this, fires another beam of light, goes around like this, we're going like this, fires another beam of light, goes down like this, fires another beam of light, and then flies out the way it came in. I don't give a goddamn what anybody else says about it. I saw that on film.
I was there. I saw the film with my own eyes. I'm not lying. Why would I? I'm a university professor with a PhD and a lot of years of good, respectful research. So the guys from Ulster may not have seen the UFO, but they saw the results of it. I saw the damn thing on film with my own eyes, so don't call me a liar, and you weren't there. I was.
With all due respect, I'm not calling you a liar. It's just quite a step to say there was a film with remarkable images on it that the CIA confiscated.
Which I saw, and which they did. It was shaped like 2 saucers put together with a golf ball on top, and it fired a beam that we assumed was a plasma beam at a dummy warhead and knocked it out of space. Tell me what happened. Tell me who did that. Tell me in 1964, who had that technology, pal? Not us, and not the Russians, and nobody I know of.
There's an old joke in broadcasting.
Are you going to do this with baking soda and vinegar, Bill?
Hold on. We're running out of time.
Lastly, I want to quickly touch on Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana, 1967. This event reportedly involved a disc-shaped craft that appeared near launch silos. It shut down multiple entire flights of missiles. I want to stress that there are numerous other similar cases out there, not just from the 60s. I have to mention Robert Hastings' legendary book, UFOs and Nukes. Hastings has interviewed over 150 former US military personnel. The phenomenon of UFOs near nuclear facilities seems to go all the way back to 1948. There is a pattern here. UFOs seem to be interested in nuclear sites. But what about Fukushima? Fukushima itself is a UFO hotspot. In the 1970s, the area around Mount Senganmori in Ino had many reports of luminous objects, and the city still promotes the district as UFO no Sato, or home of UFOs. This UFO wave included witnesses reported seeing a massive cone-shaped object, multiple disc-shaped craft, as well as numerous elongated lights flying in formation near the mountain. There have been so many sightings in the area, the city itself opened an interactive UFO hall in 1992, as well as an international UFO laboratory to study and analyze sighting reports in 2021. Even more modern US intelligence points to Fukushima area as a hotspot. The Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO, released a map of UFO hotspot locations, and we see right here in this area historically qualifies. I have my issues with AARO, as do many UFO researchers, but they should have access to more data than the average researcher, and this data confirms coastal Japan as an area to watch. All of this sets the stage for a wild sequence in Japan's history. On March 11th, 2011, at 2:46 p.m. local time, a massive 9.0 earthquake struck off the coast of northeastern Japan. Devastation was everywhere. This was the fourth largest earthquake in the world since 1900, but that was just the start. Then came the tsunami. About 30 minutes later, a massive wall of water, in some places with a run-up of almost 40 meters. Entire coastal towns were tragically erased. Unfortunately, this would lead to a cascade of failures coming from the Fukushima Daiichi power plant. Due to the initial quake, combined with the eventual flooding inside the facility, the plant would lose power and cooling systems. Tokyo Electric Power Company would later confirm meltdowns in reactors 1, 2, and 3. The accident was eventually rated level 7 on the International Nuclear Event Scale, the most severe category on the scale. The human cost of this sequence was devastating. The tsunami and earthquake combined, killing or leaving missing tens of thousands of people. Thousands of families were displaced, whole communities were emptied. Completely separate from the connection to a potential UFO wave, this was a disaster that impacted the lives of numerous people. It's important to take note of that and recognize this as a tragedy. Before, during, and after these destructive events in the area, numerous witnesses reported seeing odd lights, orbs, and even structured craft in the area around the nuclear facility. Local witness and monk Tomonori Izumi saw them up close. Quote, "The UFOs came after the explosion. There were so many of them. I was shocked." Izumi would later claim that he believed that the UFOs were monitoring the nuclear and radiation levels in the area. Another group of witnesses claimed that they saw, quote, "bluish-whitish balls of light lined up over the ocean." According to translations of Japanese magazine Mu, which investigates the unknown in UFOs, there were videos taken of waves of white UFOs, which were specifically mentioned to be taken on March 26th. But first, let's start with this video from apparently before the earthquake itself, filmed on the day of March 11th in the area. The quality itself is not amazing, but it was indeed posted 15 years ago. Little orbs or spheres flying in formation. Here's a similar formation from a different angle, from reportedly also before the earthquake, also posted 15 years ago in Japan. Interesting, but difficult to fully make out again. What about this clip of supposed witnesses on the ground viewing yet another formation of these objects? My favorite little moment of white orb clips comes from a seemingly instantaneous movement seen in this footage, apparently from March 31st, 2011. Then we get the supposed March 26th footage. Same similar formation. Given image quality, it's tough to verify location filmed. Skeptics of the footage say that there's snow on the ground in the first frame, which there was no snow on the ground in that area during the March 11th through the 26th time frame. Difficult to verify in this video. Also from Moo magazine, reportedly video captured of a large cigar-shaped craft. We do have footage of this cigar-shaped craft, captured only through German television, not broadcast anywhere else, on April 12, 2011. And again, we have a theme here. The quality of the video is obviously not perfect. Very odd looking. During the actual tsunami, we have numerous clips that are found in live news footage that have survived. Some of them are odd to say the least and may even show something anomalous. I like this one of a seemingly intelligently controlled something flying clearly over the area. What it is, we can't be sure. We also have more clips of things darting around in the actual devastation. This next one is a screen recording of a live clip from the Piers Morgan show. Someone is watching and is pointing out an object appearing and then disappearing in plain sight, which is definitely interesting. Through it all, lots of odd clips during this incident. We even have supposed footage of strange lights hovering over Fukushima when a smaller 7.6 earthquake hit the area a couple years later. Are these simply helicopters checking out the area without great quality in video? Official government investigations into this incident appear non-existent, and for good reason, I'd say. This was a horrible disaster. If the UFO aspect is real, it's important to document UFOs seemingly interested in nuclear sites once again. Another part of the long historical connection between UFOs and nukes. Netflix has good coverage of this incident in its series Encounters, which was produced by Steven Spielberg. I'd recommend watching it if you're interested in this case. Again, I'd like to hear your thoughts on this case in the comments. Is this a 1 in all misidentified sightings? Or is it a 10 and it's undeniable? Personally, I'm looking at a 7 here. It seems between all the sightings and witness reports, along with some interesting footage, there could be something here. Much of the quality of the footage leaves more to be desired, or is difficult to verify time, date, and location filmed. Some of the on-air footage from during the tsunami itself is definitely interesting, but I want to know what you think. Leave your comments down below and let me know. Thank everyone so much for watching. If you'd like watching similar content, feel free to like, subscribe, share the video, it all really helps the channel. Let me know if there's anything you want me to cover down in the comments below. And as always, catch you next time and stay curious.